Hello, and once again, we are live with the Modern Mystery School UK EU podcast and YouTube channel. And today we are joined by the lovely Alexander. How are you?
Good morning, or good evening for you, I guess.
It is. It's as Cassandra was on the other day from Australia. She said, "Hi from the future."
Hi from the past.
Yeah, exactly. So fun.
Oh my God.
Now, I can't wait to chat to you because your background, you are from the world of tech, on the West Coast, tech. And, I often associate tech being kind of logical mind and, very methodical and all that kind of stuff. So can you explain why you would want to have a life activation, and then what did it do? Did it do anything for you? How, what was your experience?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I work with quite a few people who come from technology and from very mental institutions, organizations. And, the big thing that I've noticed and witnessed at the life activation is that it's so easy to get so caught up in like the normal mundane and like think, mental. And the life activation, during the session, it really does such an amazing job of helping to quiet down the mind and help you connect into your heart and to really feel the calmness of your being and your energy. And, for a lot of people, having coming from like a very mental space in life, that may be the first time in a very long time, if not ever, that they have ever really got out of their mind and into their heart. And from that space, a lot of magic starts to happen. They start to look within and say, like, oh my goodness, like what am I feeling right now? This is very unique and very different. So a lot of relaxation, a lot of calmness, but also, from that helps shift people into coming from a place of more living life from out of their mind and following more their intuition and and being more relaxed in general. So it's been really good. And on a personal level, it's like when I found the life activation, I wasn't necessarily totally in the tech world at that time. I was getting into the tech world. And so when I found the life activation, I think what it really supported me to do was to have a better grip on being able to navigate the tech world and to being able to be more effective in navigating my mind and my emotions, being more empathic, being better understanding, have a more holistic approach and with my relationships, with work. So it was a very, very, very supportive leg up for me in that way.
That's so fascinating because there's obviously, we speak to so many of the younger generation, they're going into that world. And you're so right. It can take us to a very one-sided approach in life, a kind of think, mental, everything's intellect. And then it negates all this whole, energy that we truly are. So that's really fascinating that you mentioned that having that helps you then stay in balance, I guess.
Yeah, big time. And, I think so much of what we see in burnout, especially in the tech world, is that it's so much due to being on mental overdrive. And if we never give ourselves the balance in our lives to be able to get out of mental and get more into, the nervous system and relaxation and into our intuition and our emotion, we start spinning. We start spinning our tires and we're going into extreme deficit. And so, with the life activation, it gives you the ability to be able to get in so much better connection with your energetic nature and with your emotional, intuitive self. And it really gives you a huge support in life, but especially in the tech world too.
Yeah, that is fascinating. That's fascinating. So for you in your world, you became a practitioner of the life activation. Would you say it's for anybody or everybody, or is there a certain group of people it would suit? Is there somebody out there that you could say, oh, if this is you, this would be suitable? What do you think?
Yeah, it's funny. It's like, of course, as being, both of us being life activation practitioners, I would recommend this session to literally everybody. Would everybody benefit from it? 100%. Is it for everybody? Yeah, 100%. But is everybody willing and ready to try something new and different and outside of their comfort zone? Not necessarily. So, I think that some of my favorite experiences are working with clients who come in, either not believing in it, and even sometimes trying to prove the magic wrong, to say that it's not real, and then having an experience and saying, okay, I don't know what this was, but something really powerful happened for me. Those are my absolute favorite people to work with. And so, it just really comes down to the individual. It's like, no matter where you are, what walk of life, how you're living your life, there's hands down, you 100% will benefit tremendously from receiving the session. And, I've seen it time and time again. And yeah, so.
Yeah, I love that. That's so funny, isn't it? Because logically it shouldn't make sense. It shouldn't actually make sense what we're doing. I get that. I get that. I'm totally into magic, as you know. I know magic is real. But I also come from a very logical, practical mindset. I get that it shouldn't work. I get that what we're doing is outside the realms of logic. It's outside the realms of what most people would consider okay, this could work. No, I get that, but it does work, and it works time and time again. And I love that it works forever once you activate it.
Oh my
That's
God.
it.
Totally. I love it so much. I just checked in with a client, somebody who I did a life activation for, I think over 10 years ago. We just reconnected, and I checked in on like, how's your life? What's going on? And, she proceeds to tell me, it's like, oh my gosh, like I got out of this toxic relationship. I changed my career path. I got into a new job that's more fulfilling. I got into a new relationship and got engaged with somebody who's really, really supportive for me in my life. Like, so much magic and good things were happening. And all of it was like a nudge just a little bit in this direction. But it was a nudge in the direction that they may have never gone down if they didn't have that influence and support from the light of the life activation. And I love coming back to that, because it's such a reminder and validation for, for me as a practitioner, to circle back and say, oh, right, here's somebody who received this magic so long ago, and I'm watching the fruits happen in their life like years and years later. It is really cool.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. It's like, why would you not have this session? Is or it's like, of course, to me, it's a no-brainer. It's like, if there's one thing that you could do to make your life better, get a life activation.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's like Junior was just saying on a previous, he said he thought his life was like 5-star.
Yeah.
Like, it was great, but he didn't realize until he had the life activation that you could have a 20-star
yeah.
life.
Yeah. It's so well. It's crazy to think. It's like, we don't know what we don't know. And, even if we feel like we have it all together and life is going really well, it's like, it's hard to believe that life could be better than what your capacity is for, believing what best is. And then it happens, and you're like, oh my God, well, what else is possible? Like, what else, what other magic can happen? What more can I do? And, and that's all because of life activation.
I love that. I mean, our time's nearly up, but I remember Founder Goodney once saying that the life activation is the fertile ground from which all healing takes place.
Yeah. Oh, it's so profound. Gosh. I think sometimes when I'm connecting with clients and I'm telling them, during a consultation, and the story of the life activation, and, King Solomon and his time and where it comes from, right? And, I highlight the importance of it. It's like King Solomon gathered together, hundreds of thousands of healers and shamans and, medicine men and women from all around the planet together in his temple to study. And they tried all these healings on each other that all of them had from all over the planet. And one of the most powerful healings that they kept, that worked on everybody, was the life activation. and how important it was that it's something they gave to royalty, to kings, to queens, to shamans, to like the spiritual leaders, to the magi, the sages, the wise ones, right? And the fact that somebody coming before me can receive that same very, very powerful magical tool because it was so important for what it did. It really can, the magic just lights up and people feel it and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm getting the same thing, really?
Exactly. I know, it's mind-blowing. And I think that's like kind of the perfect way to end, this conversation. I mean, our time whizzed by, and it is one of the holiest things that you can, honor yourself with, and it lasts forever. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Musgrave, for having me here.
Yeah, thank you. And we'll definitely get you back on to the show and talk about initiation and talk about other, steps on the path. And we'd love that. We'd love that.
I love to. Thank you. I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah. And if you want to have a life activation, then get in touch, because we have practitioners in over 55 countries. So we're going to be able to find you somebody close by. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for connecting.
Yeah, my pleasure.